Okay, this is the video for section 4.5. In this section, we're going to be converting from slope intercept form into standard form, and then also back from standard form into slope intercept. So you have to be able to go back and forth between these two forms of an equation, all right? So we've been talking about standard form in the beginning, and then when we did section 3, we started looking at slope intercept form. So today we're going to kind of combine them together and make sure that we can convert back and forth between the other. Okay, so looks like we've got 8 examples. I have 4 along the top here. These are in standard form, so we need to put these into slope intercept form. And then these 4 down here are in slope intercept form, and we got to convert them into standard form. Okay, so I've got 4 of each kind for you today. So really quick, slope intercept form looks like this: y equals mx plus b. So look at the way that y is over here on the left side of this equation by itself. So basically, when you're being told to convert into standard form, what that means is solve for y. All right, you want it to say y equals some other numbers. Okay, standard form, if you remember, goes like this: ax plus by equals c. All this means is a, b, and c are numbers. So really, what you need to know about standard form is you need to move x and y to the same side together, and then c, being your constant, needs to be on the right side by itself. All right, so let's look at an example. 55 and 59, I actually wrote out the steps for you. So in 55, how would we solve this? We need to convert to slope intercept form, so we need to solve for y, get y all by itself. All right, so first thing you would want to do is subtract 9x from both sides, okay? And we would have, this is gone, negative y equals negative 9x minus 1. All right, I kind of don't have enough here. I'm going to move down here. Okay, now let's keep going. We need y, not negative y. This doesn't say negative y equals mx plus c. So how can we make y positive? Divide that negative 1 out of there. Okay, so our answer is y equals negative 9 divided by negative 1 makes a positive 9 now. So that's positive 9x. And then negative 1 divided by negative 1 is also now a positive 1. All right, and that's how we got our answer here. One more, number 56. We need to solve for y because we need it in slope intercept form. So let's solve for y. What's the first thing you're going to want to do? We need to move any term that does not have a y. So basically we need to move this 2x because it doesn't have a y. We need to move it to the other side. All right, so let's subtract. Y subtract because right now it's positive. That's positive 2y, so we have to do the inverse, which would be to make it negative. So subtract it. And we have left 3y equals negative 15 minus 2x. Once again, negative 15 is a constant, negative 2x, this is a variable with a coefficient. Can't combine those, so just rewrite it. Negative 2x minus 15. Now, a lot of you might have put negative 15 minus 2x. I did it in a different order because I want my equation to be y equals something x plus something. So I want my coefficient with the x, I want that to come first, and then my constant, which is that negative 15, I want that to be last. All right, last step, we need y all by itself still, so divide by 3. Y equals, we have negative 2 divided by 3, so negative 2/3 x, and then negative 15 divided by 3, we know that's negative 5. So this is our equation in slope intercept form. So just to review a little bit, in slope intercept form, the number in front of x right here, that's m, that's our slope. So this would be our slope. And the other number on the end, that plus b, b is our y-intercept, so our y-intercept would be at negative 5. So if we were to graph this, we would start on the y-axis at negative 5, and then we would go down 2 over 3, make a point, down 2 over 3, make a point, etc., until you have a nice line, and then you would connect it with a straight edge, and that would be how you would graph it. Okay, so I want you to try 57 and 58 on your own. Let's jump down and look at two examples going the other way with this. So now number 59, we have an equation in slope-intercept form. We would like it to be in standard form. So first we need to get rid of the fraction, which is here, right here, where our slope is. So to get rid of this fraction, you need to multiply every term by the denominator, and this will be the thing you always do, all right? If you don't have a fraction as your slope, let me see, do we? Nope. So down here really quick, if you had like y equals 3x plus 8, your slope is 3, which is not a fraction, so you wouldn't have to do that step. You would just have to move 3x over here and you're done. All right, but that's not what we're working on. We're working on ones with fractions. So multiply every term, so this term, and this term, by the denominator. And so that would be 2. So if I multiply each term by 2, I'll get 2y, which is right here, 7x, and then negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So that's how we get that. Get x and y on the same side, so now we need to subtract this 7x to the other side. So we get 2y minus 7x equals negative 8. Make sure everything's in the right order. We want x, then y, then the constant. All right, let's look at an example of this. I'm going to follow my steps. Number 60. We need to, first of all, multiply every term by the denominator. What's our denominator? 2. All right, so I'm going to go 2y on this side. Then I've got 2 times negative 1/2 times x. And then I've got 2 plus 2 times negative 1. So I multiplied 2 by y, 2 times y. I multiplied 2 by negative 1/2, that's this term. And I multiplied 2 by negative 1, that's this term. All right, now let's do the math and simplify. 2 times y is just 2y equals 2 times negative 1/2. Multiply straight across with fractions. 2 times negative 1 is going to be negative 2 divided by 2. All right, and don't forget your x. And then 2 times negative 1 will be minus 2. Let's simplify that even more. 2y equals, what's negative 2 divided by 2? That should be negative 1x, or just negative x, minus 2. And our last step is to get x and y on the same side. So I need to, this is minus x, so I need to add x to both sides. Over here it's gone. And over on this side, we've got 2y plus x equals negative 2. All right. Last step, make sure everything's in the right order. Remember, our equation for standard form, we want x first, then y. So let's just kind of rearrange everything. We have a positive x, so x. And this is positive 2y, so plus 2y equals negative 2. That's our equation in standard form. All right. This video is getting pretty lengthy, so I'm going to do one more, but I'm going to let you pause the video and try it on your own, and then you can resume to check your work. Don't forget to do 57, 58, and 62 on your own tonight. Also, your summary questions, because a lot of you are forgetting to do that. Okay? So pause right now and try 61. Follow the steps that are written over here on this side. Okay, how did you do? If you will look, I actually wrote my 2's in red so that you could see me actually multiplying 2 by each term. So I multiplied 2 times y. I multiplied 2 times 3/2. Don't forget the x. And then I multiplied 2 by negative 6. That's this term here. So I multiplied 2 by each one of these terms. All right. And then I just did the math. 2y. 2 times 3 is 6 over 2, and then 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And 3 divided by 2 is 3x. Subtract it, rearrange things, and that should be the answer you get. All right, guys, you know what you need to do. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.